are you going to build in different parts of the country? And we must make sure that is why the absence here is the disjointed relationship between the national government and county government, because there is no intergovernmental framework under the law that makes sure that we work together to establish those community training grounds and the issue of stadium. The issue of Marsabit Stadium, Mr. Speaker, I will make sure that I follow up personally. I was really wishing to go to Marsabit as a Minister of Roads and Transport because we have some airstrips we were working on there, and also we are open to the Lapset corridor. We want to put ICD there. So, Mr. Speaker, I will go now. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of this ministry, if I'm approved, to make sure that the stadium is completed.
We want you to shift your heart from roads to youth and sports if you are confirmed.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, but as a cabinet secretary, you still have the responsibility of supporting
I know there is
the rest of government.
Responsibility, but don't live in nostalgia. Let's have now. Yes, Junet.
Point. When we are looking at the suitability of a nominee, we also look at his commitment to the work he's going for. So I wanted to ask, your removal from roads transport to Ministry of Sports use, do you see it as a demotion?
Mr. Speaker, first of all, there is a committee of ministries. Mr. Speaker, when I was in roads and transport, I never at any point thought that my colleague in youth and creative economy and sports was a lesser minister than myself. So I don't see any ministry to be different from the other.
Sharia?
Thank you.
One question, Meshi, one question, Rahab, yes. One question.
Thank you. Let me just add, as everyone was talking about Stadia, Mheshimiwa, we don't have any Stadia in Northeastern Province, 0. So you better add that into your list. There's no sports.
Meshi?
I think we do better than, I haven't even asked my question, sir. My question. That was just a comment.
I told you to stop preambles to questions.
Mr. Speaker, if everybody spoke for their region and I don't say I'll be killed once I leave here.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa Murkomen, youth employment and job creation. Matrix requires concerted efforts, including mainstreaming of the issues in all ministry policies, rather than youth ministry as a standalone solution point. So what is your take and what measures will you champion to achieve this complete mainstreaming in all ministries to push the agenda of youth? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mishi.
Asante, Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti. Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, nimemsikiza Mheshimiwa Murkomen ambaye pengine anaweza kuwa waziri wa vijana na michezo. Lakini nataka nimregeshe nyuma wakati akiwa waziri wa mambo ya barabara na uchukuzi. Sisi kama watu wa Likoni kupitia bunge niliuliza swala la kivuko cha Mtongwe na tukaweka pesa ambayo ilikuwa ijenge kivuko cha Mtongwe cha feri. Rampu hiyo ilijengwa kidogo tu, yani kama mbeni mfano tu wa kujenga. Baada ya kuweka mamilioni ya pesa. Mpaka leo ferry channel, kwa wale ambao hawajui Kiswahili, Mtongwe ferry channel. Mpaka leo kivuko kile hakifanyi kazi, wakazi wa Mtongwe wanataabika sana kuvuka kwenda katika ngambo ya pili. Vile vile ile floating bridge ambayo ilikuwa pale iliyotengezwa kwa milioni 300 ilikuja ikakatizwa kwa ghafla bila kuita wananchi kuwaeleza kumeenda vipi ama kumekwenda vipi. Sasa mimi nauliza, umezungumza maneno matamu ya kumtoa nyoka pangoni, lakini kusema sio kutenda. Unaweza kusema na ikawa ni mkono mtupu au rambwi. Mimi nataka nimuulize waziri, utatutibishia vipi ya kwamba haya ulioyasema hazitakuwa ahadi za urongo kama zile ulizoahidi kupitia wizara yako kwa watu wa Likoni, na mpaka leo wanalia hakuna floating bridge iliwekwa wakati wa regime ya nyuma, sasa hakuna tena, kivuko cha Mtongwe hakuna. Mwisho tupe tathmini ya talanta hela. Asante Mwenyekiti.
Oka amekatalia pangone. Yes,
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Rahab.
Yeah, to the nominee, I don't know whether you are aware that most of the constituencies we don't have youth officers for the last 5 to 7 years. And I'm sure you need those youth officers because they'll help you to go on the ground and do mapping and know exactly what is happening on the ground. Honorable Speaker, I've also received another question from your friend, Honorable Murkomen, asking if you are confirmed, what are you going to do to gain their confidence, your youth? Thank you.
Nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start with Honorable Sharia. First of all, youth, no, I agree first that there are no studies in the, as I said earlier, in the arid and semi-arid areas. When I was doing the tournament last year, Mr. Speaker, Turkana players were playing on a sand pitch, Mr. Speaker. It's very disheartening to see how marginalization is being perpetuated. And I think we need to correct that, to give facilities to young people in the arid and semi-arid areas. And I have been deliberate, even in the Ministry of Roads, to make sure that arid and semi-arid areas are also taken care of. Mr. Speaker, on the question of youth mainstreaming, I agree with Honorable Sharia also that we shouldn't talk about youth only to be confined to youth department or the youth ministry. It is a mainstreamed issue across the board, and that's why I said earlier that the youth ministry itself should provide oversight whether the other departments of government are achieving the objective of creating employment and creating opportunities for young people to do business and making sure that they are given access to have a voice. Mr. Speaker, part of those initiatives that were done after post-election violence by the second term of President Kibaki was to have a National Youth Council, which has never been operationalized up to now. I participated in the youth agenda in the whole conversation about how to operationalize the National Youth Council. I want to promise the people of Kenya that we are going to give the young people of Kenya a voice to elect their own leaders from grassroots national level, so that then the objective of National Youth Council is going to be achieved, where they will have their own leaders elected by themselves. Part of the reasons why young people are in the streets protesting is because they feel that they are not being involved in decision making, or they have no voice, they have no channels of releasing that which they would like to give to the country. And I don't want tokenism in this case. They must also be part of the decision making. Mr. Speaker, when I got any opportunity to